Well, let's talk about another extraordinarily big man, Tugboat. Listen, we've tried to describe what these characters are so far, and I guess he's a goddamn boat.
Not a goddamn boat. It's a nickname. It's a nickname. You ever heard anybody called Tugboat or Diesel or tow truck or Mac? Hey, look at that Mac truck and shit like that. It's
before the real life Fred Ottman, Uncle Fred, before he's Shockmaster, he's brought in as Big Man Steel or Big Steel Man with Slick as his manager. Then he becomes Tugboat Tyler, then Tugboat Thomas, and eventually just Tugboat. Do you even remember Big Steel Man?
I thought it was Tugboat Taylor.
Tugboat Taylor, you think?
I know we dropped whatever the hell last name was. I don't remember Steel Man at all.
Well, if you're watching on video here, he's rocking a red striped shirt, white pants, a sailor's hat. Part of his gimmick, as you did. Do you want to show us what he did with the air horn? I mean, can you just visually show us?
Yeah. Now, this was also during a time where Vince was experimenting with a writer to write some of the opens and write, some vignettes and lines for talent, things like this. And I would dare say this was some of the hokiest vignettes we ever did, because he's everything. The guy was a pun. All he did was puns. He didn't know. I mean, he spoke in puns. Everything was a pun. And so it's like, I'm midships and gonna throw the anchor down. And it was beyond hokey and not good. But, Fred did everything he could to make it happen. And there just wasn't that fire in Fred and Tugboat. And I don't think the audience was ready to get behind a little boat that pulled big ships.
You feel bad for this one a little bit.
I do, because I like Fred. He was just such a nice guy. Had narcolepsy too, so you'd be sitting there talking to him, and he'd be like,
I don't think he had narcolepsy. My man had sleep apnea and was tired.
What's narcolepsy? Isn't that where you just fall asleep?
Yeah, I guess.
Well, that's what he had. He fell asleep.
I just got to hear the pitch. Like, do you pitch this idea to Vince McMahon?
No.
How does it happen? I just can't imagine somebody says, "What if?" and they do that routine you did with the and all that horse shit, and somebody's like, "God damn it, that's it."
Well, it was Vince's idea. I mean, it was Vince's idea because he was so damn big and so powerful, just in general, that you could see. Again, you look at him, and Tugboat would be a great name for him. I think dressing him up, in the little sailor outfit was, again, you're making larger than life cartoon characters. I think the outfit was a little,
hokey,
a little funny.
When he put that hat on, you howled with laughter. Did you not?
It was a little goofy. It was just, it was like, oh my God, man, really? Because again, you're looking, you look at him, and it's like, especially when the hat's kind of off to the side a little bit and everything, and it's just,
he looks like Big Boy.
It's hard. He does look like Big Boy. That would have been a great gimmick for him if we called him Kip. And he just walked out with a platter with hamburgers on it and shit.
And then ate them in the corner in between.
Yes, that would be good. But man, it was what it was. And I think that the problem is when you look at him, he's got such a friendly face. And then he's in that outfit. It's hard for him to be serious, and for you to believe that he's really going to get mad enough to do any kind of damage. So the curse of being a genuinely good person kind of screwed him over.
Man, you guys threw everything at it. You know, he debuts with the Hulk Hogan endorsement. The May 20th episode of Wrestling Challenge, Hulk Hogan does a promo explaining that he personally trained Tugboat and brought him to the WWF. And when Tugboat gets a win on that very same show, Hogan comes out to the ring and raises his arm, sort of showing full support for this character. And then, of course, we know when Hogan gets squashed by Earthquake, it's Tugboat who goes on TV and says, "Hey, send your letters of support for Hulk Hogan here, and we got to keep pulling for him." And you've sort of teased on the show before that maybe one of the ideas along the way for WrestleMania was, what if Tugboat turns on Hogan and becomes an Iraqi sympathizer and we get Sheik Tugboat? This is maybe not our best idea.
Sign of the times, man. Sign of the times. And the feeling is here's this big bastard, and you got to have a big, physically large, imposing opponent for the Hulkster. So Tugboat was huge. So I think people would believe that Tugboat could beat Hulk. Just don't think they ever want to see that. And I don't think they would have believed putting him as an Iraqi sympathizer, even with Adnan, coming in and convincing him. I just don't think that people would have bought it.